What's up, everybody? Leone back here today with another review. Hope everybody's doing well. What day is today? Today is today's the 25th, but I don't think it's gonna get uploaded today because I still gotta do the close-up segment and whatnot. So, and it's already late, but figured I'd throw this review out there for you guys. This is on another clone atomizer, which I know how you people love the cloned atomizer as well. I know some of you do. I know some of you don't. But this is a little bit of a different one. Atomizers, or rebuildable atomizers, are pretty much, for the most part, minus the marquee and a couple other drippers out there, pretty much the same. Either you got a 3-post or a 4-post design. You know, it depends on the airflow holes, and they're pretty much the same. So I get sick of reviewing them after a while because there are a lot of the same ones. This one here that we're going to be looking at today, though, is a little bit different than, well, it's different in a sense because it's tiny. As you can see, it's tiny. This is the tiniest dripper. Drip tip off. You can see how tiny it is. The tiny dripper, we're calling it. It's the Derringer clone from Tobecco.
The next one and nothing to kill you. Don't believe it, but I'm betting that you will. Stop now. I'll let you live a little bit with the pain.
This thing was really cheap too, by the way. Let's start off with that. Let's start off with what I paid for and where I get it from. You can probably guess where I got it from. Got it from eSiggity.com. Just a great vendor out there right now. So if you haven't checked them out, check them out. Yeah, I paid $12.99 for this. Can't go wrong with their shipping's really cheap too. I forget what shipping I paid. I ordered a bunch of shit, so I think it was free shipping, to be honest with you. But yeah, $12.99 for this the dripper right up here up top. I don't know if my camera can focus on it because yeah, it sucks. But it's tiny. I even put on this little tiny drip tip on it right now. This thing is even tinier, which kind of just completes the look. See how tiny that thing is. It's actually way smaller than a penny. There you go. Yeah, I got these little guys from Vapor Shark. They're little pawn-style drip tips. They're not wide bore or anything. They do kind of reduce the airflow. I have a black Delrin one here on my, what is this? The Aspire Nautilus Mini. It just makes it look even tinier. Yeah, it kind of cuts down the airflow a little bit. So that's the only reason. It just looks nice on it because it just completes the small look of it. And I obviously got it on my iStick 50 watt, which is another small device, actually the smallest device I own too. Focus, camera, focus. And it's just a terrific vape. I've had some issues with it, and I'll get into that. And yeah, it really does vape really nice. Yeah. Let me give you some quick specs on this. I'm losing track here of what I'm trying to talk about. The only specs I can really find, and I'm pulling these specs off eSiggity's website, is stainless steel. I don't know what kind of stainless steel, once again. It's got a silver-plated brass contact pin on the bottom, which is non-adjustable. It's a 3-post rebuildable dripper. And you got single airflow holes or dual coil airflow holes. So you can use in single or dual. And it's just tiny. It doesn't say the size on here. I wish I had something to measure it with, but it's small. I'll show you how small it is in the close-ups later and whatnot. That's the specs on it. There's not really many specs to tell you. It's small and it's flavorful. I should probably put another drip tip on it because this thing's making the airflow even tighter. And right now I'm rocking it in single coil mode, and you're actually going to see the single coil. I don't build it on camera, but you'll see the coil that's in here in the close-ups. So you'll see the close-ups here, you'll see the build I put in it, and you'll see a little bit more of the atomizer up close and personal. So let's get to the Derringer clone from Tobecco. I think this makes the 3rd in a row from Tobecco that I'm reviewing, but who's keeping track, right? Anyways, here we go. Here's the packaging. Nothing special. Just says Tobecco. It's got a picture of the atomizer. Inside, you obviously get your atomizer right over here. And you get a bag of goodies. You get a screwdriver, your typical little blue here, a couple O-rings, and 3 spare screws there. So you get all the extras you're gonna need. And then obviously you get the atomizer. I'm gonna try to make this little close-up section here a little bit quick. We'll see how that goes. I always say that. It does not include a drip tip. Comes just like this. Some people, you can just use this area here if you want to use that as a drip tip. But I find if you don't put a drip tip, you really get juice in your mouth if you just take drags from there. Pretty small atomizer. That's the feature of this. Here's a penny to compare it to. Yeah, you can see it's yeah, pretty close to the size of a penny. It's very small. Here's a marquee atomizer as soon as I can get her off. There we go. And there's a marquee atomizer, so it's, yeah, half the size. Half the size. So it is tiny. Let's take the top cap off here. And this is a 3-piece atomizer. So you're going to pop this section off. Then you're going to have another section here. And then you have, obviously, the main section here. Let's unscrew that. And this is the base. It's very, very small. Focus camera. There you go. Nice size holes. You got 2 size slits here on the side post. And then you got just a hole in the center here. So you can fit a decent size wire in here. I've put 22 gauge with no problem whatsoever. I've ran dual 22 gauge wire in here, no problem whatsoever. 2 O-rings down here at the base. This is a, what is this here? A silver plated brass contact down here at the bottom. It is not adjustable. This pin actually holds in the center pin. So if you do get this loose, you will unscrew the center post and that will spin on you. A decent juice well on there. You can see it's not bad for a little atomizer. It's decent. No complaints with that. Then you have this section here, which is your airflow ring. Actually, all your adjustments are going to be done here, but this is your airflow ring. You have 3 size holes here. Can't find what size these are. I wish I had calibers to tell you. You can see there's 3 here to go all the way through to the other side, and that's for dual coil. And then you have your single coil here, which does not go all the way through. So you can do it in single or dual coil, no problem. That piece actually just pops on like so, and that sits on that first O-ring there. And you see the other O-ring showing. And then you would take this piece here, which is your airflow ring, and that would pop right over and sit on the other O-ring. So it's doubly sealed here, which is nice. And you can see I have it wide open there, and I have it set for single coil right there, so you can see the other side's blocked off. And if I get it on a mod, which I will, you can see how this gets adjusted. It's not too loose, not too tight. Actually, I think it's a perfect O-ring fit on here. You can see you can take it down to 2 holes, you go to 1 hole, or you can take it all the way around if you want to do dual coil. See, now I got both sides open, and you could do, do 2.5 holes, just 2 holes. You get the gist. It's very easy to adjust. I've had no issues with the airflow on here. And the airflow is just right for me. A little bit of restriction, but not too tight whatsoever. Perfect for long inhales, in my opinion. That's the atomizer. I mean, there's not really much to show you on it. It's a tiny little bastard, and it definitely performs. And we will, I'm going to slap some coils in here, and we'll talk a lot more about this guy. Alright, so I just slapped in a quick coil in there. I'm running a 24 gauge single coil, micro coil, obviously. It's like a 0.5, 0.6 ohm. The reason I'm running a single coil, and by the way, as I was building it, I lost one of the screws. Go figure. I got extras anyway, so no big deal on that. But the reason I'm running the single coil is when I had the dual coil in there, I think it was a 0.3 ohm, and it was just a little warm for my taste. Considering it's such a small atomizer, you really do get heat off of it. So I'm going to try it with the single coil here, and we'll see how that vapes. But I'm going to put some juice on it real quick, and I'm going to put the top cap on. I want to show you something about the drip tip real quick. So bear with me as I put on some juice here. I'm using, what am I using? Oh, Mom's Pineapple Cake here from Epic Cloud's Grim Green's line of e-liquids. Pretty good shit if you like, yeah, upside down pineapple cake. If you've ever had that, fantastic stuff. Tastes just like it. Not too sweet, and yeah, it's good. It's a max VG juice. Kind of see how I did this one here. I put cotton basically I put it from here and I went all the way around through the middle and kind of back around a little bit underneath this coil here. So there's just, you know, a good amount of wicking material. Just slap on some juice. Alright, and we'll call that good. So anyways, as far as the top cap goes, I kind of showed you how this works already, but for single coil, you find a 3 there on one side here. And boom, you can see my coil through there. So perfect. Then you take your top cap and just line up those 3 holes there. Boom. Just like so. And as far as the drip tip, like I said, you could use it just like this. It may be a little hot. The one problem with it is not much drip tips look good on here. I'll show you what I mean. Actually, I just lied to my own self. This is the sub-tank drip tip. I haven't actually tried that on there. Actually, it looks pretty good. A little long for this little guy. I have been using this little thing, which I got from Vapor Shark. It's just tiny. It just completes the tininess of this. It might work. It restricts the airflow a little bit. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But I see this sub-tank drip tip works good. A lot of the other drip tips I had, let's see here, I got one here. Kind of do this overhang thing, which is just ugly. That's what I was trying to point out. It's not too bad, but it kind of overhangs and it bothers me, so I don't use these. I have that with a lot of drip tips, but the sub-tank one works fine, so let's try that out and see how it works. But anyway, let's go up top, let's vape it, and let's talk about it. So you saw the close-ups on it, so now you know how tiny this thing is. I didn't expect it to really be this tiny. I showed it compared to the Marquee, and I mean, you want a tiny setup, get an i650 and get a Derringer clone on there, 12, 13 bucks and 50 bucks. It's a cheap setup there if you want to throw some clouds out. And if you don't mind a warm vape, this is a very stellar little atomizer. Like I said, you could use it without a drip tip. You could pretty much use it right out of this area here be your drip tip. I've seen people use, you know, drippers and not use a drip tip on it at all, and they kind of stick the whole thing in their mouth. I noticed that when you do take the drip tip off, you are not even saying that word. You are more likely to get juice in your mouth from spit back, and it is even warmer. Like I said, I was using this little drip tip here, and since I have it in single coil mode right now, the airflow is a little more restricted that I like. I could still do lunkets comfortably, but it's just a little bit on the tight side, and that's wide open for single coil. And with this drip tip, it just makes it even tighter. So, yeah, I'm slapping on the sub-tank drip tip that I had, and that on there is definitely making it better. Definitely much better with that drip tip on there. So let's talk about some of the cons. Like, one of the cons is it's a little warm for my liking. I like cooler vapes personally. When I had the dual coil on there, I had a dual coil at 0.2 ohms, and I think I had it running maxed out on my i650 here at 50 watts. And it was a little too warm. After 2 drags, the drip tip itself was getting way too hot, almost burning my lips here. So that's when I decided to put in a single coil build, which is now reading at 0.6 ohms, and I'm running it at 30 watts. It seems to be doing a lot better. Drip tip's not nearly as hot, and it's definitely tolerable now. So keep that in mind. If you're planning on building super low on this, it may be uncomfortable unless you like those warm vapes. That's perfectly fine. Just giving you the heads up. That's one of the cons on it. The other con would be building on this is not as easy as it may seem. The screws cut wires like a motherfucker. I could lie to you and tell you this is easy to build on. It's not, and I think it's something to do with Tobecco and their stupid screws that they're making. They're a little sharp on the bottom of them. I took them out and I looked at them. They're a little sharp, and they cut wires. I had to put 3 different builds in here, and it kept cutting my damn wire. I understand it's $13 rebuildable. You get what you pay for, so I'm not bitching. I'm just letting you know that if you do get one, that may happen to you, and you may freaking scratch your head going, ah, this sucks ass. Putting a single coil in here was easy though. That's when I decided to just slap a single. Anyways, I'm done rambling. Those are 2 major negatives with it. Otherwise, you know, the O-rings are tight. It doesn't leak. I mean, like a dripper, it's going to leak out of the airflow holes like all drippers do. Yeah. It is a one-to-one clone. They did take the logos and all that. So if you're not a person that likes one-to-one clone, doesn't like logos from other companies on there, beware. There are some on here. Let's see if I can show it to you. I totally skipped this in the close-up. So bear with me as I take autofocus off and try. You can see, actually, you can't see it right there. It says Praxis Vapors, Derringer. What does it say? Derringer Vapors. Derringer Atomizer. Sorry, Derringer Atomizer. Praxis Vapors. Praxis Vapors is the original maker of this device, so they do get the credit because they are the ones that made it. Tobecco just cloned it, and I'm just showing you the clone because the clone was really cheap. So I figured I'd take a look at it. It's a little different than everything else. I throw some juice on here. Not really much else to say about this, you know. It's an RDA. It's a rebuildable atomizer. Slap some coils in there. If you like a warm vape, you're gonna like this atomizer. That's all there is to it. And if you're somebody that likes small atomizers, you're gonna like this atomizer also. I mean, here's a Lancia. It's a Lancia. That's pretty lined up there. I mean, you can see the difference. It's quite smaller. And I mean, I have this long sub-tank trip tip on there. If I put the little one on there. So let me step back and chuck a little bit of clouds here. Definitely performs a lot better with the single coil at 0.6. I'm not getting as hot of a vape, so still chucks the vapor. The flavor is just really good on this. I mean, that's because it's such a small addy. Let me bump up the wattage here. Let's go a little crazy. Let's go to 35 watts. Yeah, that's really warm. Not bad though. Mom's Pineapple Cake is not bad from Epic Clouds. Very good, especially warm because it gives you that warm pineapple cake feeling, and it's very authentic with flavor. I like it. So that's it, guys. Do I recommend it? Yeah, I recommend it if you don't mind warm vapes. If you don't mind warm vapes and you don't mind clones, and you like small atomizers, obviously. I like small atomizers. I like small devices. Honestly, that's why I have an iStick 50. And I have iStick 20. I like small devices. Yeah, I have some big devices like the Skelly. But I do recommend it. You know, but you got to choose your what you like. It's all about what you like. So, yeah, it's a good atomizer. I mean, for 13 bucks, I can't complain. It's in my rotation for now, and it's going to be in my rotation for a while. That's it, guys. As always, I hope you found some of this information helpful, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscription link will be down here in this corner, and until next time, live well and vape on.